bitches! And I brought Swinehouse along for the ride as we dissect and destroy Ledgic's favourite entry in what was once an unmatched series of quality RPGs without even inviting the little shit to the party.
Yeah, fuck Ledgic.
Plus, if we invited Ledgic, all we'd hear is the sounds of him desperately jacking it while crying mascaraed emo tears because it doesn't have an HD remake yet. At least this one's not an anime game, but it's deep in the uncanny valley. And oh, wait, I spoke too soon. I forgot about the most anime character in any Final Fantasy ever. Fucking Selfie! And I bet Square Enix wished they'd copyrighted that word when they had the chance. But they were probably too busy cozying up to their body pillows to pay any attention to the zeitgeist. If Ledgic was here, he'd be arguing the toss that VII's penetrative commentary on environmentalism versus capitalism that also manages to question our ideas about the self and the transient nature of our own reality is utterly trumped by 8's love story featuring flying schools. There are plenty of other attention-seeking middle children desperate for validation that will tell you that this is the best game in the series, citing that it's more realistic with its pixelated nightmare faces and relatable introspection. If that's what you call hearing the inner thoughts of a morose motherfucker who's patently ignorant of the fact his life is going really quite well. Moving on! Final Fantasy VIII, like VII, is, spoiler alert, another RPG. So it features a lot of the same cliches and tropes as every other motherfucker in the genre. Incomprehensible story, nonsensical turn-based combat, unnecessarily complex character optimization system, blah blah fucking blah. If you watched the last video, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you ain't, fuck you, prick. The only differences are that in this game the characters are almost all highly trained military operatives and the plot makes even less sense than the head fuckery of VII. This time the gimmicky weapon of choice is not just a sword that rivals my dick in scope, but a cocking gunblade, which sounds fucking awesome, but ultimately amounts to nothing more than a blade that explodes in your face upon impact. As it happens, almost 2 women have described my dick with those words. Surely a sword that explodes in your face every time you use it would be counterintuitive, but your main character is far too busy thinking about his own thoughts and trying to remember why he can't remember his own pissing childhood to notice. Why has everybody elevated this guy so highly when realistically he's no better than any of you self-obsessed, whiny, crybaby cunts? His name, Squall, literally means storm, but not a big badass storm that you want to have sex to, but a piddly little bitch of a storm that fucks off pretty soon and nobody even notices it was there. And much like the lead singer of any terrible emo band you self-harming cock-slicers worship like gods, this arsehole manages to spend all day whining about how bad life is to himself, whilst having the poster boy good looks that immediately pull him the hottest girl at the party. A girl he promptly falls in love with. In space! Maybe he's got a thing for damsels. And what a fucking damsel he's found in this crazy bitch. Not only is she the offspring of...
Is he his daddy's
first crush, she's the de facto leader of an even more pathetic group of rebels than Avalanche.
Biggs, Wedge, Jesse. Never forget.
Also, she's the unwitting potential vessel for the disembodied consciousness of a time-travelling, multi-dimensional mega-bitch who, so obsessed with the clairvoyant knowledge of her inevitable downfall, creates the very self-fulfilling prophecy that allows you access to her. And if you're listening, Ledgic, Doctor Who's shit as well.
Hey, fuck you, David Tennant was...
Shut up, Swinehouse! But these two cunts aren't the only apparent heroes that you'll be forced to spend over 100 hours with. So, once again, let's...
Break it down, niggas!
The ADHD patient with the...
Yeah, what the fuck hair gel does he even use?
who somehow made it through military training with the attention span of a Jack Russell, with an acute obsession with hot dogs that rivals that of even Paris Hilton. Also, he punches things. An ignorant, narcissistic, wannabe playboy misogynist who immediately turns out to be such a pussy that he fails at the one task you brought him in to do, before inexplicably renouncing his womanising ways and falling obsessively in love with one girl forever and ever. This is it. This is the one, despite the fact she's never displayed any hint of reciprocation. Also, he's the only shitting cowboy in the world. Next, the girl with the slutty dress sense and the innocence of a Michael Jackson target, who, honest to God, is so unbearably nice and upbeat as the world ends that the only thing she could be in the real world is a fucking cosplayer. Booyaka! Booyah! Kill yourself!
Also, Rule 34.
And finally, we come to her, my raison d'etre, my inspiration, my beginning and my end. Oh, Mistress Questis, show me the world I've never known. Whip me like the naughty little boy I am, and finish me off with your blue magic. You princess of perfection, I am as nothing in your hands. I am truly humbled by
All right, old man. That's enough of that. Jesus. So, the plot.
In a world so overcome with nationalism that school is simultaneously enlistment into the military, the squabbling of nations has become so ubiquitous that nobody even questions why the world is like this in the first place.
The answer? Because it is.
This world is stuck in a never-ending time loop that sees the villain's destruction create the exact circumstances that inevitably lead to the villain's destruction again.
Confused? Nobody gives a shit.
People always see time as a melon. It's more like a big bowl of dicks. To explain this further, whiny fuck-faced squaw is promoted to leadership of high school military musical and doesn't understand why, only to find out at the end that the villain's consciousness has gone back in time to make sure it all happens again. If that's not confusing enough, halfway through you discover the characters all grew up together and forgot about each other.
The reason given for this memory loss is... drugs.
Drugs that enable you to summon sexy ice bitches, cactus men and everything in between.
Including, but not limited to, minotaurs, birds comprised entirely of light, ancient gods, Satan himself, the Loch Ness Monster and,
A train.
yeah.
Alright, I've had enough. This game is fucking nonsense. Utter fucking nonsense. And I won't have it. If you liked Final Fantasy VII, then you've already played this bitch. Which calls into question, why am I even doing this? Why does anybody do anything? What's the point of existence? Is it all just a predetermined chain of
calm
connected
down.
events destined to lead to
Calm
our
down.
inevitable demise? Am I even real?
Oh my God, you got
or
a
just
point.
a figment of someone's imagination?
No.
What is
no.
life?
Oh my God, what is love?
Maybe that's why all the characters
No.
in this game are either whiny obsessive
Oh my
cunts or blissfully ignorant of the folly of their very existence.
Or Cypher. But Cypher's just a prick, and his stooges should never have been that hard to beat.
Fuck this! Fuck everything and fuck you! Hashtag Codger out!
I'm gonna need Nurse Quistis in here. Stat.